Hey, WWE, YouTube, Ute Nation. Hope all you guys are having a great Thursday and Friday Eve. And, oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe I am about to give you Ute breaking news on the CEO of the Ute Master Main Event, Jey USO. Guys, you guys will not believe what Mr. Jey USO did earlier today when he was the special guest on a podcast. Yes, Main Event Jey USO attacked a podcaster live on his very own podcast earlier today. I think it was earlier today. It may have been prior to today. But anyway, we are going to talk about all of that and much more. So make sure, guys, if you enjoy this episode, you drop a like down below and make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. But let's get into it because it is very, very serious. We have breaking WWE breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. WWE breaking news. WWE Ute breaking news. And it comes out of the Telecom podcast, guys, earlier in the week or earlier today. Telecom podcast, guys, had a very special guest, and that very special guest was one half of the USOs. And a matter of fact, he is Main Event Jey USO. Now, he was the special guest on the Telecom podcast. I think it was either earlier today or earlier in the week. Anyway, guys, Main Event Jey USO decided to attack the host of that podcast. I don't know if the podcast name is Killer Cam or that's the name of the person. It's a rapper, but he also had a podcast and he had special guest Main Event Jey USO on it. And apparently throughout the podcast, Jey USO was getting disrespected or felt disrespected. And so he decided to attack the podcaster. Now, this wasn't like a verbal attack. This was like a physical, attack, like throwing punches. Anyway, guys, the podcast crew for behind the scenes had to get involved. It was not good at all. It ended up being chaotic. But very few times when a WWE superstar is a special guest on a podcast, they end up going physical. It's just, it's not allowed, period, at all. Why would it be allowed? Why would you invite, why, as a special guest, why would you even think about fighting and throwing punches, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. But anywho, guys, I don't know what the consequences are going to be for Main Event Jey USO, as he is 2 days out from having his WrestleMania 42 match when he teams with his brother Jey USO and the megastar LA Knight. Yeah! It went to take on Austin Theory and Logan Paul and I Show Speed and all that. And that is the opening match for night 1 of WrestleMania 42, guys, on ESPN and the ESPN app. But I just don't get it. I get the frustration. I get the anger. I get feeling disrespected. But you can 100% not come on a podcast as a special guest and end up throwing punches at the podcaster. It doesn't go like that. That's totally unprofessional, and I really do not understand why Jey USO had to go to that length. I do understand, and I feel, that he felt disrespected, and he's not going to go around and just be manually disrespected. And I totally get that. But when you are a special guest on someone's podcast, show, whatever it may be, you are the special guest. Okay, you should not be going around throwing punches, because that's just not how we do things. Maybe in the WWE, you settle that by throwing punches in the ring. Maybe. But absolutely not outside of the ring will you do that. And like I said, we are 2 nights removed of night 1 of WrestleMania 42, guys. And the question now is, will the team of Jey USO and the megastar LA Knight, be a team member short by 2 nights and from tonight? So that's really the huge question we have to ask. But I don't know if that attack was earlier in today or earlier in the week. I just heard about it this morning when I was on my way to the gym, and that's why, So if any of you guys know when that happened, you guys can leave it down below in the comment section. I would greatly appreciate that. Again, I just saw it earlier this morning, so I was, thinking on talking about that. But yeah, so I mean, that's a little interesting and all that, getting a little physical before WrestleMania 42. Maybe not the most polite way to do it, but who knows, really. All right, guys. So I don't know how that's going to play into, night 1 of WrestleMania. But speaking of WrestleMania, guys, there is someone who is either a part of the Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown roster. Apparently, he's been showing up on both the past couple of weeks, and that is none other than Mr. Danhausen. It's you or cursed. Yeah, it's that guy. And you know what, guys? Number one, first and foremost, if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, which I have a feeling many of you have seen his YouTube channel, it's just so fun, My mom finds him creepy and scary, but I find him unique, enjoyable, and hilarious. Well, anyway, this past Monday on Raw, Danhausen wanted to speak with the host of WrestleMania, John Cena. And, if John Cena doesn't meet with Mr. Danhausen, then John Cena is cursed. And that would not be good for Mr. John Cena. But I'm unfortunately sad to pronounce, Mr. Danhausen, that you will not be in this year's WWE Hall of Fame. However, Mr. Danhausen will be at WrestleMania 42. He is scheduled not to have a match. Maybe he could take on The Miz and all that, because him and The Miz are really not on the same page. A few weeks ago on SmackDown, he asked Friday Night SmackDown GM Nick Aldis for a mentor, and Nick Aldis decided to find The Miz. And apparently, Mr. Danhausen wants to cancel Miz TV. Now, I gotta be honest with you. For over 10 years, we've had to listen to Miz TV. okay? But the most must-see show is not Miz TV. And you know what? Danhausen may not have a match at WrestleMania, but I guarantee you the WWE Universe at WrestleMania would not mind seeing Mr. Danhausen. He is scheduled to appear at WrestleMania. I don't know if it's night 1 or night 2, but he is scheduled to make an appearance at WrestleMania. But you know what his role will be, I don't know. Maybe he will run into the host, John Cena, and maybe John Cena will get lucky and not get cursed. But I got a sneaky feeling that John will, wherever Mr. Danhausen wants from John Cena, it may not really go that way, you know? But you know what, guys? I find it great knowing that we are 2 nights removed from night 1 of WrestleMania, and we find out that Mr. Danhausen will be at WrestleMania. You know, I want to know what you guys think of it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comment section. But you know, I'm happy. Danhausen is going to be happy. He says he is undefeated at WrestleMania, and he is right because he's never lost at WrestleMania. But here's where he is wrong. He has never had a match at WrestleMania. That's just, you know, and he's already celebrating his undefeated streak. And that may cause issues in the WWE. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just pointing out a fact. You know, but you know what, guys? I would love to know what you guys think of Mr. Danhausen. I would love to know. I mean, even he's not going to have a match at WrestleMania 42, but he is going to appear live at WrestleMania 42. My only question is, will it be night 1 or night 2? And we are yet to find out whether it's night 1 or night 2. But hopefully sooner or later we will find out.